by new technology.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Fragments. This is a D&D campaign I'm playing with my friends. My dog is itching and
shaking a whole cabinet.
Yeah. So where did we leave our party? So our party was split. We had a split party. Sariel Gladrinel had gone off with the Prince Regent of Southgate, and had gone to the observatory with him, and
the prince wanted to observe something.
They were observing things. You know, they were going to the observatory to observe things, I'm sure. And I've completely forgotten where my notes are from that game, which is really not great. That's this game, but not that game. So, okay. And you'd met.
I don't think we took many notes last game because it was.
You'd met. You met the prince, Prince Fenric, and you'd also met his.
Tustin.
Huh?
Tustin.
Yeah, Tustin Fenric, and found out that the king that Sariel had a letter from was Harbold. You'd also met his very efficient servant Venitholk, and had a dinner. Basically, you'd had dinner with him, and it was marvelous. And there was a rather nice dwarf lady that Killian, because of Killian's love of anything that Killian can lick and not get poisoned, got on with quite well, and arranged to have a dinner sent to your room of profiteroles and other things for when you get home. So where Sariel had gone higher and to more regal climes, Jackson, Charlie, and Killian had taken themselves to the lowest of the low, left the castle, gone down through the streets, bought fancy hats for Charlie, attached glowing orbs to it that were now all circling it, and basically danced. Jax had actually got on stage and played a wonderful set with a band on stage, and there'd been an eclipse, and there was this kind of big techno trance party happening, and it was quite a beautiful situation that was going on, and they were all buying Charlie drinks.
Yeah.
Now, what wasn't discussed but in game, but has been discussed since, which I think that we should share with everybody, is that Killian and Jax have not had an alcoholic drink. Apparently, they have not indulged. They have just been getting Charlie rinsed.
Yeah,
basically. But if you remember from last week, Jax, you had spoken to someone in the crowd about where are your challenges, where are your games, and things like that.
Meet him at the edge of the stage.
That is right. Yes, yeah. And basically, so the party is continuing. We're going to go there because Sariel can't be with us till later on in the game. So we're going to go to the stage and that kind of crescendo moment. So the music gets louder, everybody becomes in sync, and the crowd is moving like one organism, moving, swaying, dancing, and there's people spinning, and the cold of the ice that's nearby does not seem to affect this party. There's steam coming off the crowd as you look out, Jackson, your hands becoming sore as you drum away and play, and the sound reverberating out. Someone has cast thaumaturgy, so everything is like twice as loud. It's pumping out of this stage, and gradually the crowds start to dissipate as the night becomes later and later and later, and then the band kind of starts settling down from playing, and the stalls are packing away, and things are kind of, it's becoming that really, really early morning time. The sun's actually moved in its orbit back to sort of rising again, and you, Killian, or Charlie's still dancing with you. There are very few bedraggled looking people. There's Charlie. You are still wearing the Eye of Melora hat with the glowing orbs around it at this point.
No. I'll pass that back to Charlie at this point.
Okay.
It was just so those girls would leave me alone.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Oh, I was looking for the bag there. I was like, wait a minute.
I got all the dice.
Do you know how easier it would be for me to have it on the screen?
I'll put Killeen up here if you want. I can put him on the other tab. Would you like that?
Yes, please. Because it's bleeding frustrating.
I just wanted that. Grab kills and kills can come down the bottom here. Oh, okay.
No, you won't. It's Emma to center
Jeez.
stage.
Let's do this. We can put that there.
Yeah.
This there. And this up here, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, everything.
So, what am I doing?
You were going to do perception. Who was going to do a look-in?
I was gonna do a look-in. So what is my look-ins?
You could write on screen there and go press up the screen. It's very fun.
Oh, okay. It would be very funny if it could fit.
Seven.
7 apparently. This is why I don't use the screen.
Well, with that, you don't notice what's happening. Jax, you are still on stage. Your hands are sore. You are panting from this this raucous performance, and the band are kind of they're kind of winding down. There's this lute solo, and you're playing perfectly in time. The lute soloist has kind of done that locking eyes thing with you leaning back, and there's kind of like the crowd that were there are no longer really the thing. It's about this synergy of music that's happening between the four of you that stand on the stage. Like the world could be elsewhere. You could be, honestly, it is just like this synchronous, rhythmic magic that is occurring. And as it winds down and that finishes, and the last echoes of singing and lute echo out across the waters and across the ice, they all come forwards, and you are sort of willed into this at this moment, and you all embrace and hug on the stage, and they're gathered around you, and it's like you've just played the best concert of your life. You've played probably
The one and only, and I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
Yeah, the first concert you played of your life. They are looking at you. They're like, there is a rather slight elven character, dark hair, very short dark hair, but slicked back with a sort of a patterned cut, like almost tattoo. It looks like tattoos on the like the undercut part of the hair, and he's like, man, that was some crazy rhythms, man. Like, where did you come up with that? That's like, oh my god, I mean, have you heard anything like that? And his mates are like, no, I mean, that was incredible. They just kind of, they're chatting and you're walking with them. They're like talking, and you're sharing information of like your homelands and where you learnt this stuff. So can you give them some story? Where did you learn your proficiencies?
That's how they play it back where I'm from. The Cold Raven clan. That's how we sort of celebrate Grimish's Black Eye Night.
Oh, so you don't even call it Melora. That's so cool, man. It's like a different god, like there could be like more than one god, but like, which we know, but like different gods could actually be like the same god. They're like they're like tripping basically on this idea that you've like presented to them. They say, come with us to the after party.
Okay, I'm supposed to be meeting someone. There's some challengey thing going on.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Can I have a look at the edge of the stage and see if the matey's down there?
Yeah. You look down from where you are. You can't see the edge of the stage. There's like a side to it. But if you walk down the stage off the side where they're kind of proceeding to, like the stage exit right, stage left, you walk down and there is like a little sort of pen with like a VIP sort of area. There's like a rider on the table there. There are selections of food and drinks and things like that. Do you want to have a look at those at all? You can, if you wish, like explore those and have a look at them, or you want to look, or you focus on this dude.
Why are you surprised about the competitions? Isn't that like what you do? I mean, like back home, that's the main bit of this night. There's like strength tests and speed tests and beating the shit out of each other and all sorts.
They say over at Mordensow, there is something that happens, but the regent don't really like what they do over there. He thinks it's a bit backwards.
He's weird.
He is weird, but
he's like proper weird.
Come
we had dinner with him tonight, and like, yeah, he's just strange. And like, you don't have any way of like challenging him and like replacing if he's not strong enough. That also seems weird.
I think make an insight check.
Insight, yeah.
yeah. You're trying to gauge this guy's facial reaction. 16. As you're saying he's weird, there's a glance between the three of them. That kind of betrays like that what you said might be truer than you know. As you walk down this area, there is the character that you met in the crowd. Long leather jacket.
Oh, we'll wave at him.
Yeah, he nods.
So,
he nods,
is
he
that
nods
your
to the band.
party, or is that something else?
They go, no. That's why I say no way. It's where we're going.
Cool.
Doesn't start yet. Come have a drink.
All right. I need to rescue a chicken and a dragon.
You've called Charlie a chicken.
They look at you like they're expecting a punchline.
The punchline is Jack's pointing at the chicken and the dragon.
there is like the aftermath of a festival, and there is a dragon born still trying to dance with a rather inebriated.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to like drag him away.
Charlie's just like, there's no music, but Charlie's like, he's still got his flag, he's got his hat on, he's got his orbs. Okay, yeah, you can approach them if you want. There's a way to get in and out of this VIP space. So.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Killian, Charlie, get your ass over here.
Charlie, come on.
Jack's
is calling us. Come on.
Jackson, I haven't seen that fellow for ages. Where is the fine orcish bastard?
Over there. Come on.
Jax! He's like stumbling through the remnants of packets of things and trodden in snowy mud, and he charges over towards this area and embraces Jax like round his middle, the stubby little chubby Charlie.
And I'm just walking up behind him like,
Jax, you have like the hat almost in your face. There's like no consideration of personal space. Jax, 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 Jax. How the devil are you? Were you on the stage? I saw you on the stage.
I was playing with these guys.
Incredible. Such music, such vibrancy, such energy. Oh my gosh, this is the best Meloras I have ever had. I'm having such a fun day. And thank you, you know what? Thank you, Killian, thank you, Jax, thank you. I thought, you know what I thought? I thought you might not like me. And here you are, taking me out, one of the boys on the town. Ah, blimey, what's next? Where are we going?
Night's not over. We've got the after party to go to.
Fantastic. Will there be music?
Well, the band's going.
The band! I must meet them. Can I get autographs? Can I have your autograph?
They're like sort of 2 steps that way. This is Charlie, the pigeon chicken, whatever.
He warmly shakes their hands and starts mumbling stuff at them. The rather smooth looking character who you met earlier in the crowd is kind of looking a bit shifty, looking around, checking around the place.
Okay.
Because I don't know about the conversation Jackson had, do I?
No. No idea.
I'll wander up to him.
He's like, "You ready for this then?"
I have no idea.
Should be interesting. There's money on it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of money. Or is that like a prize pot?
People put some money in. You win what's in. Or when people pay to fight, put it in, you win the prize. Whatever goes in the pot.
Okay.
We have to be a bit careful though. And we're waiting for a signal. Just wait.
Do you want a drink?
Not right now. But I'll keep vigilant. And he just stands sort of at the edge of the stage, in the edge of this VIP area, and keeps glancing towards the castle.
Okay.
Towards the battlements of the kind of, because you're outside Kakanzax, you're towards that sort of pen outer wall, the outer sort of bit that enters onto the courtyard of the Kakanzax, not Kakanzax, I'm talking the wrong place, Southgate, Southgate Castle. Because they're both, both parties are in castles, and it's going to baffle me. Killian, Charlie is sat at the table chatting with the band. You're beckoned quarterly over everyone at this point by the band. Come, have a drink, have a sip. Please. Like, if your friends are Jax's, you're friends of ours, definitely. He's a legend.
I don't sit and I don't have a drink. I stand so that I can keep like where I am. I want to keep an eye on Jax and this other guy.
Yeah.
Because I haven't met the other guy, therefore I don't trust him.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that from standing behind the table, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I just stand there like menacing me.
Then what's this guy? Is he a security, Jax? You don't look like you need no security, mate.
That's the captain of the boat we're on. Flight and stand there and point off at the boat that's just off the ice bridge.
Oh man, you're one of the heroes. You ruled it. Oh my god. And they've just kind of, these guys are so out of it that they've only just realized who you actually are. You're the guys that with the dragon and the whoa. And they then ask for Charlie's autograph. And Charlie Courtly picks up a pen and then attempts to write, but you have no idea what it's writing. There is just mess as it comes out. And then they say, they look at they kind of gesture towards the character that's standing by the corner, and they say, Dansk. Dansk, is it time yet? Hold on, he says. Won't be long. And make a perception. If you're looking that way, you can probably see something that happens. So are you looking towards the battlements, guys? You're facing that way. So if you're facing that way, you will see that there is a twinkling on one of the battlements, and it's a rhythmic pattern that flashes, and it's like, it's time. So you leave. There's like roadies packing up stuff, starting to dismantle the tent. There's people starting to clean the place, and you can see back towards, following this Dansk character, towards where you came, in through the main gate, which is opened quarterly by guards, and then you're led to some little back streets that wind and twirl, and you don't seem to be going on any of the big main streets. You are led the twisting, winding ways, the ways that locals would know, shortcuts over little gullies of sewage, and round the back of refuse piles and under washing lines and things like that. And you're led to a little trapdoor in the floor, and you can hear and smell bodies and voices and things. Dansk goes, here it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
In quick before any of the others see us. And you're kind of led down a set of very steep steps, and then there's kind of like a catacomb situation.
Charlie, dexterity. If it's steep steps in his pit, he may not make it.
Yeah, I suppose so. You're not right.
If it was one of us, you'd make us do it.
Charlie, well, I'm going to roll for a. Hold on, let me
You
get
need to
Charles
eat
up.
them because they're burning my face.
Stop eating them, then, you weirdo.
But they're so good.
So you are. Sorry, I'm just letting Charles up. You are led down, and Charlie follows wobbly, but makes it down the steps with a 16. He kind of uses the steps actually as a ladder and goes down backwards just to make sure. And you're led into like a set of catacombs underneath the city. This is like some older part of the city, but they're kind of like interlinked basements possibly for different places underneath, and you can hear voices far off, and Dansk leads the way and you follow up behind, and then there is a ring of people, crowds of people, and there are beer barrels set up, and it is
how tall are these catacombs?
They're probably about your head height. It's very, very shallow, like maybe Killian's head height actually. So you are restricted in a height at this point. You are very, very low ceilinged. Sorry?
Killian's taller than me.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about just Killian's head height. But Killian's like every time there's like an archway, Killian's having to duck his way through underneath the stone, and then kind of dodge this as there's strange protrusions that once had things hanging off of it, or you know, as you find like strange contraptions in basements that you're not ever quite sure what they connected to or what their purpose was, but they are fully mechanically functional, but what their function now exists to do or did in the past, you don't quite know. And you're led to this crowd of people, and it's basically you get the feeling that you have been led to some sort of illicit fighting pit.
Okay.
And there is one side where there is cushions and sofas and things set up, all beat up, but tried to be done up posh, like someone's painted gold paint on the thing to make it look plush and nice. And there are this is where you see the two girls are that were bathing you. They're all over some person over there killing heights.
No, it's not that.
Oh, dog fart.
Yeah.
And you are led into this ring, and there is a parting of the crowd as Dance walks into the center, and the crowd hush. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you know the rules. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club, this is your first night. You have to fight." And he gestures to you, Jack.
Okay.
He says, "Here is, actually, I didn't catch your name."
Jackson.
Jackson. You might have seen him playing above. You might have seen him fighting the war host that attacked here. But now you'll see him fight in front of your very eyes. The crowd goes, yeah, swilling drinks and stuff like that. Now, an appropriate challenger for dear Jax. What would be? I know just the one. I know just one. You said, or I overheard you say, you dined with the Prince Regent, right?
Yeah.
We've got one of them that's on our side. How about we get
The little pixie magic guy.
no,
The chef.
he goes, Carleth, and out of the crowd walks this character, and it is one of the town guards that you've seen before, full clad in the full armor and armed, and they say, "This is your fight, then. This seems perfect." And like he like clashes his sword against his chest and raises his arm. The crowd scream, more beers swilled. The crowd sort of circle in and they say, dear Dragonborn, my friend, and your pigeon there. This is a one-on-one fight. I must make you understand.
Is there like someone to pick him up when he hits the deck?
They go, there's always people around that can help, I'm sure. So
I just turn around to Charlie. I'm like, Giles.
He's like, look, I will heal Jackson if he falls over.
No.
Oh.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yes.
Don't get involved.
Me? No, I'm just here for the music. Where's the music? And then at that, it's like, Music, you say, my fine pigeon friend. Of course. He claps and music starts, dramatic battle music starts by violins, and there's a drumming coming on. Roll for initiative, please, Jax. Oh, 2.
8.
Oh, so you both in the single digits. You go first then, please.
Well, on the upside, I went to dinner in my armor and took my hammer and my.
You did. Let's get a pen, babe.
I am actually just curious at the moment, so I'm going to hold my ball in my left hand.
Yeah.
And then I am just going to sock him in the jaw with a fist.
Okay, cool. Before you do that, there is you notice towards the side there is a pot
Oh, okay, yes.
of gold. You can't determine how much is in there.
Oh, am I supposed to put some in? Hang on a sec. I'll go rummage around in my pockets. Where is it?
And Kills, you over here talking.
Over here, what talking?
You hear you overhear someone saying like numbers.
They're taking bets.
You make a pretty sure assumption.
I'll put 28 in.
Okay, 28 in. Cool.
Okay, can I put a bet on them?
Yeah, of course you
What are the odds?
can. So they're saying like it's a new fighter, so they're saying it's 3 to 1.
20.
We'll put 20 in.
For Jax to win.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to triple your money 60. Okay, cool. So you're gonna give him a punch. Okay, go for it, please.
Yeah, so literally just sock him in the jaw.
Yeah, go for it.
That is, I rolled a 14, so 20 to hit.
Yes.
5 damage.
Yeah, so you smack him in the face, and he wasn't quite. Somehow it goes past the net, like through the gap in the faceplate of this armor, and it resonates his head. He kind of shakes his head clear a bit, and so he takes his shield and kind of, when that blow hits, he kind of tries to parry you off with the shield, and gets a 15 for the first one.
15 hits.
Okay, and he is
Bloody hell, what's your
yeah.
Fucking hell. Right.
9 damage, and since he got that in again, he's going to go for another bash with that, and with the rolls of 16 hits you. 2, 3, 7.
Okay. All right then. We're doing it like that, are we? And I'll drop the ball. And yeah, so he's been bashing me with his shield.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the ball will come down and it will come in from the other side and just sort of go for his rib cage that his shield got on that side. And I rolled a jack's roll, so miss.
Okay. Are you sure?
I got a 10. He's got a shield. It missed.
Yeah.
I will, as a bonus action, I will in fact, fuck it, let's action surge.
Yeah, get some extra punches in there.
You what?
Get some extra
Yeah, I'll
movement.
get another action. Yeah. So sort of I'll come in a swing and miss, and then sort of basically backhand it into his shield to try and knock
bring it back round. Yeah.
That one's better. That's a 20 to hit.
20, yes.
And
You want to lay on the damage?
I am laying on the damage, but I'm thinking, how mean am I feeling about laying on the damage? Fuck it, yes, he just bashed me with a shield twice. I am going to ignite the fire rune.
There's a glowing surge on your armor of blazing fire. On the mall. It's on the mall, isn't it?
So it's on the mall head. No, it forms fiery shackles around them.
Oh yeah, you're gonna pin him. He's got to do a dex of.
Hang on, 17, 21 damage, of which 9 is fire, and has to make a strength saving throw, or is restrained for a minute as these flames shackle around them.
What's the DC?
13.
6. No. 10. So he's restrained.
So he is restrained.
He can't move.
Speed is 0.
Yeah.
Attack rolls have advantage, and he's had disadvantage, and he has disadvantage on dex saves.
Yep.
And as a bonus action, I will second wind just to heal because he hit me twice. So I will heal 7 plus 4. I will heal 11 of those hit points back.
You hear Killian from the crowd like, "Get him, Jack!"
Okay.
Leave it grow.
So he is like, he tries to move. There's this fiery restraint around him.
He can. While restrained, he takes 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. So he then takes another 2d6.
Okay, 2d6.
Do you want me to?
No, Jack's.
Oh, Jack's the front. Oh, there's that.
Okay. 5 fire damage.
So 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of his turn, he can repeat his saving throw.
Okay, cool. So he's going to roll at this. You think he might have been going, he was trying to go soft on you at first. Both absolute trash rolls, a 4 and a 5.
Was it a 5? I thought it was a 3.
4 and a 5. Second one, a 2 and an 8. 2 and hit, no. That's cool. Okay, the last attack hits at a 22. And that is with his he's swinging with his sword this time. And you take 9 damage with the sword, even with this. And then I'm going to repeat my strength saving throw, which was a DC 13, 14.
13.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, he's out.
Okay. How like unhappy does he actually look?
He doesn't look too. He looks a bit scorched from where those things are, and there's a couple of dents in his plate, but he's not suffering too bad yet.
Okay. I haven't got enough room to be big in here, have I?
It's almost like it was.
I am going to, like bring them all up. Ideally, I want to hit him like squarely in the knackers, and ideally lift him high enough to hit his head on the ceiling.
Okay, go on then. You have to get that's going to be a slightly higher on the AC then to get that specific roll. Yeah.
I rolled an 18, so 24.
You get him. You get him where you want to hit him. Let's roll that damage and see if you manage to get him up to the ceiling.
That's much better. That is 15.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then roll a d6.
4.
As you lift him up, he collides with the ceiling and takes an extra load of damage from that. He comes back down in quite considerable pain.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just wondering if I've got anything else interesting I can do. No, I don't think I can.
Yeah, just thinking.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just want to stand up on it.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
week back helps.
cool.
Yeah, no, I've not got anything interesting I can do.
Cool. So then he kind of grimaces as you've smacked him in his most delicate regions, and then comes at you again with his sword swinging quite wildly at you. First hit. 6. What's your AC?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, and a natural 20. So you take um 48 plus 12.
Hang on, are you doing all of them together, or?
I'm rolling the he got 3 attacks.
Yeah.
2 of them hit. So he got a D8, a 6 plus 4, a 4
10,
plus 4,
which is 18.
a 2 plus 3 plus 4.
So 9, which is so 18 plus 9 is 27.
27 points
Okay.
of damage.
It's just watching you try and add it up. I was just like,
I'm just so bad with that.
I was just sat here like, right. I was thinking, oh, I'll go out and have a smoke while you're doing this, and then I was like, no, I'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So this is 3 to 18. Okay, yeah, go on. So I was just reading one of its other actions, but it's a protection thing, not relevant to this fight.
That probably misses on an 11.
I'm afraid so, Jax. Okay, he swings again. Yeah. 13. Yeah.
3 attacks at all.
Down, because if he's doing +4, I've only got 4, and I'll bounce back up once.
So he swings his sword. The first swing comes in and knocks you down.
No, so I'll stay standing on the first one.
Okay, and then swings again and knocks you down because you got orcish resilience, haven't you?
The relentless endurance.
Relentless
The
endurance.
first time I get hit to 0, I stay at 1.
At 1. So you fall to the floor. And there is a raucous roar from the crowd as you fall down, and you black out for a minute, and then you come to, or like, and there's the still roaring in the crowd, and it's the knight above you, reaching a gauntleted hand down to you.
Okay. I'll take his hand and let him help me up.
He stands you up and he just embraces you and wraps his arms right around you and says, "My God, that was incredible! Look at these dents, incredible!" And he cups you with him, and you're led out of the arena with him. He's like chatting to you, like talking about combat stance and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, just basically discussing how cool that battle was and complete camaraderie. You're on 1 HP at the moment, okay, but you are guided out of this space at this point.
Don't you dare.
There is a beckoning to the middle of the arena for Killian.
Hell no. Hell no.
I've done my fight, so I'm gonna go and sit down and have a beer.
Fine.
Well, yes, you can, there's ways to do these things. There's a beckoning for you if you want to. If you like.
The thing is, if I don't do it with the background that I've got, are you done? Have Kieran. I'll do it.
Okay.
Can we have a break though before we?
Yeah, and then
Crack on.
I'll catch Sariel up with that. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
quick break, and I'll catch Sariel up with where we are. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, and we have lovely Sariel has now rejoined us. However, we are not joining Sariel. We are joining Killian, who is being gestured into this ring of folks to fight.
Yeah. I'll turn around to Charlie and I'm just like, don't get involved.
You don't see Charlie.
Oh, great.
Not immediately.
Right, okay, that's fine. I'll just carry on walking then to the middle
Okay.
where the guys are throwing.
Okay. And as he gestures to this space, you hear a scraping along the floor, like something heavy and metal being dragged, and the crowd part, and there is this character. Look, it's almost like a priestly robe, and it is red. Even in this darkened sort of just candlelight subterranean, there is a red robe around this character, and beneath there is you can just see, like, make out the chin, a grizzled grey chin.
Right.
And roll for initiative.
Bring it on, bitch.
10, 12. Oh no! Is yours a +1 in that?
I don't know. I can't see. 1 second. Oh, this is weird.
You're still getting used to the new laptop then?
Yeah, we only got it this afternoon, so.
Woo!
He goes first.
Damn you!
Okay, so the crowd parts, and you can't quite at first see what is making the sound, but there's a hand down to his side, and as the fight begins, in a flash, this huge halberd is like reached up and swung at you, and he swings and
Yeah.
19 hit,
Yeah, it's right there. Look.
and there's a
16? Yes.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2.
You can't die in this one as well, Killian.
All right, you get picked up if you fall over.
Yeah, it's fine.
You've got a Charlie here somewhere as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Charlie fight.
Where are
Have I remembered rightly? Am I dating
Oh, here,
a
here.
prince while this is going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 13.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
How much did it miss hit your armor class by, Dean?
19 and a 16.
But how's that compare with your armor class?
13.
13.
Okay, the shield wouldn't have helped.
You type it in.
Oh.
Okay. You got to do something.
I'm not going to last very long, guys.
US.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to do oh, this is really weird. I don't like it.
You can do two-handed. You can.
Now I am going to do a firebolt.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Okay.
19.
Yeah.
And then 8.
Okay. Yeah. He then comes at you again
Oh my God.
and rolls a.
Yep.
If it's check if it's less than 5.
What's that?
Because if it's less than 5, it beats your armor class by use shield reaction.
Is it less than 5? So 14 plus. No, that one's more. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's on it, so you can use your shield reaction to block that one.
Yeah, can I then?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And
So it only gets 1 hit on that.
does it completely block it, Matt, or is it?
It just increases the armor class by 5 until the end to the start of next turn.
There you go. Yeah.
Spell shield. First level? Yeah, so you can come back. Yeah, so you've got to use a spell slot to do it.
That's fine. I'll do that.
Cool. Yeah, so pass that.
Yep.
Okay. And so 1 hit, and that is a D10. 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're down.
Yeah.
With these 2 great swings of this humongous axe,
How the hell was I meant to beat that guy?
you are down. If you'd gone first, you might have won. But
No chance.
it was tough. It was tough. But that was the idea. You fall to the ground, and again, the similar situation. You black out, and then above you is this character with a red robe. Solemnly, doesn't say a word, but puts his hand down to you. And says, "Good fight." Offers you the hand to help you up.
I'll take his hand and get up because I don't want to be a dick.
Yeah, he helps you up to your feet, and you are.
Surprisingly, Killian doesn't want to act like a dick.
Yeah, you're helped on, and he says, I sense a great magic. You may go far. I should like to fight you again sometime.
Oh.
He nods haughtily and leaves the arena. Okay. There is a very loud sound from behind. Oh, the hole's coming up. From in one of the spaces, and it's a rather raucous guffaw followed by.
Oh God.
Charlie rolled a natural 1 on a Constitution check. Charlie had been guided over. What you didn't see, why you didn't see Charlie was he was with the band doing shots at this illicit bar while you were fighting, not even paying attention to his friends, but had been kind of wrapped up in the party. And he just rolled a natural 1. So Charlie vomits extremely hard and is now unconscious in the bar.
You did say you were going to get him wasted.
Jax, you are sat with this knight, and it looks strange on one of these strange fakely painted up sofas that are kind of obviously like there's on the tattered velour of the seat there is very obvious gold paint that has been splashed onto it, and it's threadbare and there's little bits coming out, but everyone's really, really happy about this party, and the kind of vibe has continued through from the partying previously. It's all in this space, and this is the feeling of being underground, being something that's underground and something that's not quite, it's not legal, that kind of I don't know, that thick as thieves sort of feeling, I guess is what you'd call it.
While we're here, so sort of like, while I've got Carlos here and I'm going to chat to him, I want to ask him a couple of questions.
Yeah, go for it. He's there. He's bought you a drink.
Cheers. So you work for like the Tustin dude, yeah?
He goes to sort of salute you first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you work for like Tustin guy.
Do you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's right.
Is it me or is he a bit weird?
Well, technically, I don't work for him. I work for his father.
Well, apparently he's dead, but he might not be dead, and he might be missing. And
yeah,
like a friend of ours has like got a letter saying, "Come and meet me, and get your payment and stuff." And like, yeah.
A letter from him. Must be an old letter.
I don't know. I haven't read it.
You get a feeling that there's a similar intelligence level going on. He says he's a strange chap. He likes the stars and that.
Well, he's up watching the stars and the Grubbershy with our friend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to see that thing turning round at the top of the castle there and staring out, and then in a couple of the rooms below, sometimes you see like some lights and stuff going on up there. Like, I mean, I've seen a bit of magic in my time. I'd say there's something like, I don't know, some magic stuff going on up there, but I don't know, it's just the way he is, isn't it? I know what you mean when you say it's weird. Something about him. Like,
So are you like from Frohas, or are you from here, or what?
I was born on the ice, actually. Near Zimrica, near the lake. Things that remind me of home. Ice fishing. I miss that. Miss ice fishing. And he's quaffing his pint. He says, "Used to drink things like this at the Narwhal. Bloody good pub. Bloody good."
I was recommended the Gateshead up here.
Yeah, that's not bad in town, but nothing will beat the hospitality of Rosie.
Is he sort of gesturing at anyone at that point? Oh.
No, he's talking about a pub of back home.
Okay.
He's talking about the Knoll.
So do you guys know where the king is? Like, aren't you like a royal guard or something? Or
I'm not privy to that. I just work here, but rumours are he's at Morningshow.
okay.
There's like a vigil or something.
Where's Morningside again?
It's on
That's what you're
the
heading to.
yeah,
On
no.
Fairhurst, south
Right.
across the bridge.
Have
That's
you
what
ever
you're-
been to Shardful?
Nah.
We told you it's quite an interesting place with big pink rocks.
Interesting. Creepy.
I have a friend that likes licking things.
I overheard that bit of the conversation from the opposite end of the room. I'm like,
Yeah, that one.
He says, no, it's not interesting. Weird. Try and skirt around that as much as possible when we travel. I mean, you don't ever have to head up that way, really, unless you're going to the sanctuary. That's all.
What's the sanctuary?
There's a rescue sanctuary called Fuzzjar.
but still,
Ali came up with it, so don't.
I love her. She's mental.
What do they rescue?
Polar bears mainly.
What do they do with them?
Rehabilitate them. They got hurt paws or stuff. They get them back out in the wild. Heal them up. Give them a few good suppers in them.
Do they rescue big rock?
They'll rescue all kinds of things.
I love our child. She's brilliant.
It even came up with the person who runs its name, so it's actually this is like canon now, by the way, that the child came up with.
So what's the guy's name?
Who runs it?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you joining in the conversation?
Yeah.
Somdig Fuzzjar.
Something first.
Somdig Fuzzjar.
I love her.
And she's the owner of this Fuzzjar Polar Bear Sanctuary on Frohast.
What have I missed? There's a polar bear sanctuary on Frohast.
Yeah.
Ali came up with the name for it and the name for the person that runs it. Sorry, that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, the conversation continues on. Is there anything else you'd like to ask, Jack?
No, I think I've got most of my questions because he's not like clever enough to sort of ask about the Mori people. Or if he is, he'd sort of say, so what do you know about this cult of the Mori people? and yeah, he can't really work it in subtly, so he's going to sort of skip that because he's feeling a bit rough.
Yeah. So the conversation comes on and there's this thick of thieves feeling, and even can you make a constitution save, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Try that one, yeah?
Yeah.
14.
You managed to say stoic, and you are not sort of enthralled by this, so you have control over your situation. You don't really feel like you're involved. You can be involved if you wish to, or you can remain stoic and sort of stay around, like stay sort of firm in your conviction of being miserable.
I'm not miserable all the time, just when there isn't.
Sometimes you're asleep.
Like when there isn't food involved. There is no food involved here. I'm not happy.
Okay.
What I do though is I kind of indicate to Jackson and like point over to Charles.
Yeah.
And I'll go over to Charles and kind of like try and avoid the vomit.
Yeah.
Have you guys got a horse trough or something we can borrow?
Horse trough.
I had a better plan, mate.
You can drop him over the ice bridge.
Yeah. Carrying bridle style.
Okay.
And then just shout down to our lot that are still in the boat.
That's a long way. A long way. You could kill him. You could kill him.
Drunk flying.
Damn it.
Well, you know, I was thinking horse trough, but you know.
Can I literally, is there a pool of ice cold water I can drop in then?
There would be up outside. Yes, definitely.
I'll go to the nearest one then.
Okay.
And drop
So
it
you're
in it.
you're leaving this space with Charles.
Yeah.
Have there been other fights since?
Like as this is happening, there is like people do. You can hear the smack of skin on skin, the clash of blades. As this is happening, the regulars that are fighting, there's people cheering. There's money exchanged, and you're just sort of sat to the side, having this conversation, trying to recoup yourselves after your bouts. Make a dex check or just a straight up. No, make an animal handling check, please, Killian.
Oh.
On the table, please, Killian.
13.
You are unable to control Charles.
He's passed out in his own vomit. How can I not control
There
him?
is this sort of, you know how drunk people are when you try and pick them up, and they are like, no, it's okay.
Charlie's a belligerent drunk.
Yeah. So he's started, no, it's okay, because remember that time with the tentacle, and you had a tentacle and a tentacle and a crystal. Get in. Yeah, I know. Do you remember?
The funny thing is the amount of drunk people I've had to deal with. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. So yeah, he's trying to guide you. You make a persuasion check. So you need. Well, tell me. I was thinking you'd try and persuade Charlie to come with you. That's up to you. How would you like to try and make Charlie come with you at this point?
Charles,
Yes.
do you remember the nice cook lady we met earlier that made us a really nice food?
Yes.
She's made you more food.
He kind of, there's a blinking. There's food.
Nice sweet buns. Maybe a sandwich or two. What's Charlie's favourite feed, guys? Like, I don't want to insult him and say bird feed, but you know what I mean.
At this, you can roll a persuasion with advantage.
Did it? Oh, did it? And did it?
He's still not quite convinced.
Ah, bollocks.
And he rolled a disadvantage as well. Charlie's like, look, I just think we should stay with the boys. Maybe.
There's more music.
Charlie, do you want
Can
to go?
you sing me a song, Killian? Can you sing me a song?
Jax is talking to you.
Charlie,
Yes.
do you want to go and check on Sariel and see how her date went with the prince?
Sariel hasn't danced for me. He remembers about the dancing conversation and starts trying to cry again. He's never danced. Never danced with me.
Have you ever asked Sariel to dance with you?
Oh no.
So it's your
Maybe
fault.
you should.
I might. Let's go find Sarah. At this, Charles walked in the wrong direction.
And I just grab him and turn him round.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's spinning
"No."
around. He's like, oh, okay, and he tries to grab another drink off the bar as he's leaving.
I just take it out of his hands and put it back. Like, sorry.
Yeah, and you are bid
Night
adieu.
all.
He said bid you adieu, and you bid your farewells, and the band are like are so happy. Make a perception check. And Jax can as well.
Ooh, 19.
You, as you're leading Charles out, you see scrawled on Charles's arm, like on the bit where there are less feathers, like under, like the inside of his wrist, there are 3 names written on there.
Okay.
Do we know whose names they are? Charlie? Whose names are they?
The band signed me. Just need to get Jax's right there. Right there. Jax, there's a space saved for you, my boy. Right there. Right.
For someone that hasn't had a drink in years, you're so good at playing a drunk person.
We're gonna switch to Sariel now. So Sariel, you are currently sat in an observatory, and there is a rather lithe princely fellow leaning over your shoulder, and he's just said, "Beautiful, isn't it?" And you've just looked upon a moon moving past the disk of the sun of Earl, and noticed that it is not completely circular as depicted in the images here. With this powerful magnification, you could work out that it was jagged and not completely spherical, not as all the depictions have made it. He says, "My dear, would you like me to show you some other wonders?"
Depends what one did you mean, oh Prince?
Amazing.
Gillian, stop it.
I'm not there, remember?
Yes, why not? What have you got to show me?
He offers his hand. Take yours.
Okay, so I take his hand.
Okay. You are sort of led up and away from his instruments, and you're led down a floor.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where that smell was the strongest.
What was the smell again? The food?
You didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what it was. Okay.
And there is a heavy door set in the wall.
I'm not watching Gillian.
I'm gonna need the food.
A very heavy sort of panelled door set into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches, he unbuttons part of his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And reveals musculature, body, pulls out a key and unlocks this door. And you're, as you're led in, the waft of this smell becomes more, and it's not what you typically think of as a place that it's not what you might think a prince the mechanical things and the sort of gadgets you think like a prince might be interested in, but this space is more alchemical, maybe. So there are beakers, and there are a collection of bottles and various substances up on a shelf. This place reminds you more of the place that you went to when you picked up the herbs and spices back in Esthland. This has got like a
apothecary, yeah,
an apothecary sort of feel to it, but maybe with a wider range of ingredients, and everything is beautifully labelled. All these fine ingredients on the walls.
Is it that there's gadgets and things as well?
There are accoutrements like boilers and Bunsen burners and things like that. There's a collection of things. Oh Jesus, that made a loud sound. There's sets of benches, and there's some books and things in this space, and he's just sort of guiding you through this space.
So is he telling me about the different potions and things he's got?
He hasn't said a word.
How is he guiding me then?
He's still got your hand.
He's holding my hand and walking me through.
Yeah, he's walking you through, not as in guiding you through, not giving you a guided tour, just sort of conveying you and leading you somewhere.
Okay. What is his name again? I've forgotten his name.
He's the Prince Regent, and he's
Tustin Fenric.
Tungsten, yeah, Fenric.
Am I on first name terms with this guy? Am I still calling him Prince?
You could try.
Excellent. This is an interesting place you have here. It's not something I would expect to see the likes of a Prince Regent to have. Is this a hobby of yours?
One of many. I've got. I'm not just the princely face you might take me for. I like to learn.
So obviously you're interested in the stars and chemicals and molecules too?
Many things. They're all one and the same, don't you know, really? Orbits and things that spin and swirling of fluids and the mixing of two bodies into one.
I think the guy is trying to seduce me with his bloody chemistry set.
And his big telescope.
Phallic symbol, what, you know.
Yeah. On top of a giant castle as well. Like so it's like the most gigantic penis extension ever.
Well. Oh dear.
Do you continue to let him sort of lead you?
Yes, I do. I'm kind of. I don't want to ask too many questions. I want him to sort of reveal certain things to me.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's gonna speak. He's smiling coyly at you, but dragging you through this space, like trying to like raising an eyebrow, like I know you're impressed, kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Does this room lead anywhere? Or is it just does it lead on to another room, or is it just like a dead end room?
There looks like there's another space.
Okay. So what could you show me from you've obviously got a deep understanding of chemicals and and molecules and things that swirl around. What impressed me with one of your spells or concoctions?
Exactly what I had in mind. And he leads you to a door at the far side, and opens it up, and there is a circular feel to this room. As most of the tower is circular, but there's a feeling of something of drawing to the center of this space.
So is the floor slightly tilted in, or?
No, it just feels like you're drawn to the center. Like there's
Okay.
a magnetism, something maybe in your magical understanding.
Can I do an Arcana check?
You can indeed.
It's been so long since I used my thing, it's gone to sleep. Hang on.
In RP in.
There you go. Arcana. 17.
You believe with that there have been many magical procedures done in this space. It sort of is in the very stonework of this room. And as you look round, you see that there are, you kind of glance at the walls, and as the door closes behind you, you see that there is scratchings in the wood. There appear to be sort of runes of warding runes, like protective runes.
Right. Jackson's smirking down. I get the same impression that I feel like I'm walking into a trap. And but I don't want to offend him because it's the Prince Regent. And he's the only attention I've had for a very long time. So I don't want to upset him. But at the same time, I'm feeling a bit sort of nervous about following him. Yeah. So I just sort of ask him. Obviously, there's been a lot of spells in this room. It has a aura of like pure magic. Is there something maybe small you could show me first before you show me some of your bigger spells?
I don't do things by halves, my sweet. And size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. He leads you to the center and into. Can you? What's your? With that Arcana, actually, you'll be all right. So you, as you walk in, you realise you're stepping over what appears to be a ring of rooms.
A ring of rooms?
Yeah, like the circular room. They run round the edge of this room, or the edge of this circle. You're now being led into the middle of a set of rooms.
I can't visualise that. So is it a bit like
a circle drawn on the floor with rooms all the way up? The circle is constructed.
Oh, rooms. No, I thought you said rooms. I was trying to visualize rooms on room.
Oh, so rooms.
Okay. Yeah.
Runic inscription in the floor. These ones different to the ones on the door, but you don't know what they are.
I don't know what they are.
No.
I can't do another Arcana of those.
You saw them with the same Arcana roll, but these ones probably above your knowing, maybe something more complex.
Above my pay grade, right? Okay. So I'm being led into a circle of rooms that is
inside a room with warding rooms on the walls and doors.
At this point, I let go of his hand, and I try and step out of the circle.
He makes a grasp for your hand. Roll a strength check. Straight up strength, front page.
Yeah, sorry, it's
This one.
I've got black screen. I'm having to reload it.
I just reminded you.
18.
Yeah, you pull away, and his grasp isn't quick enough or quite strong enough to hold you, and you're able to step backwards. And he says, "My dear, don't be afraid." And he continues walking to the center, and in the center there is a pedestal, and on it there is a an ornament. That is
What?
An ornament.
An ornament. Okay. Yeah.
And it is a glass globe, a glass, almost like a crystal ball. You'd probably think of it. It says, "Come, look."
And I'll go. Can I just watch it from here and stay where I am?
That's not the way it works.
Why do I need to touch it to make it work? I thought you were going to show me your power.
This is what I've made.
You've made a crystal ball. I have seen crystal balls before.
Have you ever looked into one that could actually show you things? Not one of those gypsy travelers that just take your silver. One that can show you things.
And what will this one show me? My future? Your future? Like a double dimension?
That's the fun thing. Different every time. Until you learn to use it.
I still don't trust him. I'm hesitant. He needs to persuade me.
He doesn't try to persuade you.
Ah.
He just stands there gesturing. Like, he says, "If you're scared to try, you don't have to at all. But you know, these are the delights that a princely kingdom can afford you. And you being of the highborn, I thought you would be, you know, maybe."
I know he's playing to my ego. That's not fair.
Maybe one not to shy away from such delights. Is that the word? Indulgences. Come on, Sariel, indulge.
I go against my better nature, and I move forward. And
okay.
Did he take my hand again, or
no?
So I just move forward towards the crystal.
He says, "Just look."
So I look at the crystal ball.
Okay. As you stare at this orb, it's just a glass orb at first. And then as you stare the outside of the room, you know when you stare for a long time and everything around blurs out and almost like a film burn, and then that's the only thing that you're looking at.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you can focus on. Almost like when you're too tired and it almost seems brighter than everything else around you. And this is late at night, and you think, you know, your eyes playing tricks with you. Can you roll a D100, please?
D100, okay. Where's the 100? Oh, I rolled the wrong one. Sorry.
Just on the dice on the little corner, and then it's the two d10s together.
I'm trying to find the D. I'm trying to find the D10.
It's the two. It's the two next to each
There
other.
we go.
Two next to each other.
Ah, okay.
That'll give you a 1 out of 100. Another out of 100.
7.
34.
34. 3 and 4. Yeah.
A 3 and a 4. 34. Okay, yeah. So you stare into this globe and it feels like it's getting closer to you, and almost it's like growing, and then it sort of envelops you.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like you're headed inside this, like almost like being inside a fish bowl, but it's filled with like a white smoke. And then you're walking, and the space clears. There's a great clearing of the fog, and you are walking in the forest.
And is the forest you've already been in, or a different forest?
You recognize this immediately as you're walking.
Is it my home forest?
You are not far from the Peloton stables of Gargamel. You are walking along a tract of land, forest path, and you are just pottering through this space, and you see an archway of trees and sort of woven together roots and vines and stuff, just what you would find in this great old forest. There's nothing abnormal. This is just where you would walk along the ground, and when you step through this space, it's different. It is like you've stepped into... Make a history check.
Ooh.
You recognize this type of flora and fauna immediately. This is Feywild space.
Ah. So I've gone from a forest that I recognise, Gargamel, into a Feywild.
But this is your forest, definitely your forest, and it still looks, the patterns in the path are the same, and the orientation of the trees are exactly the same as they are in your forest. You remember this path perfectly clearly, like you've walked it so many times, you know the place of every root and twig, and it's exactly the same, but it's not the same, because where there were trees, there's toadstools, and where there were roots and vines, there's strange twisted things, and there are all the trees are turned and coming in on themselves, and like almost like reaching for you, very oppressive. The light and the leaves are all this pinkish purple tone, and there's the telltale fireflies that flit and glint around in this space. And as you continue walking, you see another arch of trees that is exactly maps in your head, exactly the same as it should do in Gargamel True. And as you step through it, you are back into the normal forest. You're back walking the same path as you did before. And as you glance over your shoulder to look at where you were, out of that archway, you just see a little mushroom grow, like underneath the archway. And then
I say,
you're back into the room with the prince.
Oh, I can't talk to him. Okay. Okay. that about? I recognised where I was, but then it all went Feywild, and there was a mushroom guy, but I couldn't talk to
Oh
him.
no, it wasn't a mushroom person. It was like a little tiny mushroom. I mean, like just in the archway where you saw mushrooms, but they were definitely the Feywild mushrooms were sprouting, but you would have walked back into the Gargamel proper.
Right. So there was like, was it like the Feywild was kind of creeping out of in between the archways? Is that, am I reading that right?
You think that could be quite a possible thing that's happening.
Okay. So I quizzed the prince and asked him whether he's had a similar vision to mine, and I reiterate what my vision was.
He says no, no, not at all. Like I said, it's different every time, different for people. I've been practicing.
What's it all mean? Are they warnings? Are they steps into other parallel universes? Or what does it all mean?
It says, I believe there may be other places. Now, you may think I'm crazy, but I believe that there may be places that exist alongside our own. I believe we might be able to move into those spaces. This only gives you fleeting glances, peaks, but my research is coming on somewhat, and well, I've visited a place that was all fire. And
all fire.
His eyes kind of, you see like a fear and wonder in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He says, all was far as the eye could see. Nothing but heat and rock. Burning.
So it sounds to me like you found a way of having glimpses into other universes, into parallel universes. Or it could just be into the fairy enchanted universes. Have you come across many Feywild encounters before?
I know not what you see.
No, he doesn't know about Feywild. So at this point, I relay our little encounter in the forest where we came across the two pixies, and I tell him all about that.
Pixie goths.
Yeah.
He listens rapt as you tell him this tale. Just out there in a forest, you travel through a door.
Mm-hmm. They saved us essentially. We were being chased by giant spiders, and then there was
he shudders when you say spider.
He doesn't like spiders. And then there was a fire, and they were coming towards us, and we had no means of escape. And so the pixie goths they drew us into their world to save us, and then they kind of got in trouble for doing that. And and I relay the rest of the tale of what happened.
Yeah, he listens to the whole conversation that you regale him with, and he is fascinated by the talk of this. And it's like I think that this only allows me passive experiences within that place. I cannot reach and touch stuff. I can move through the space, but with great concentration, and I'm often very weary afterwards. I want to open a door.
I don't think the fairies are too keen on us being able to wander into their world. As I say, the pixie goths we encountered, they got into some serious trouble for meddling with with their door, like letting us in. I don't think it's something we can really do. I think you're lucky in the fact that you can observe, but I don't see how there's any way we can actually convince the fairy people to actually give you access to interact more physically in those realms.
He says, Piffle, I can do what I like. I will be able to create this. Look at what I've done so far. A few years research, and this is how far I've got already. You think that I can't achieve this? I will open a gate. I will open a gate to all of the realms. We'll be able to travel freely wherever we so wish. And I have a vast array of guards, and they'll come and protect me, and we'll go in together and we'll explore these places and find what riches they have to tap. Imagine that, being able to travel without really moving. Through another space, completely untapped resources, infinite fire, heat, energy.
But I think you would upset the balance of these worlds if you took stuff from one of those other worlds and brought it into your own. I think it would cause fractions in time, maybe fractions in universes. I don't ever see that ending well.
This is piffle. Oh, you worry too much, Sariel. You don't realize quite how great of an experimenter I am, an inventor, an artificer, a bit of everything. You know, I dabble in all these things, and I've combined them together into a new thing, a new conglomerate. It needs a name, something that would unify the magics and the experimentations and the artificery that united together. A name. I need a name for it. I don't have it yet, but you've just been installed. And he is there's a sort of manicness about him.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of worrying me, because I think he's sort of drunk on the power and the possibilities of it all. Where I think he should be feeling cautious.
Okay.
And can I try and make a persuasion?
Yeah, that would be something that you could do. You could try and persuade.
Yeah, I want to try and persuade him to be more cautious in his, because I think he needs to try and be cautious when moving from one world to the next and moving himself and others and items from one world to the next, because I think he doesn't really fully understand the power of moving in between all those worlds.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find persuasion. There it is. I'm not going to persuade him with a 5 though.
No.
That's not going to happen.
No.
I persuade him the other way.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
I could try and be sarcastic with him, but I think he's so caught up in the power, I think he'd actually believe that I was back on his side, you know?
Can't you just summon something interesting into his little sort of safe room and say, this is a minor thing of
Oh, can I do a spell and freak him out? That's a good point.
You at that point you try and make this convincing thing, and he says, you are just afraid. You should not. He says, you are just afraid. An elf, a druid of the woods. You wouldn't understand such high science. Can you make a charisma save?
Christmas save. Okay. I was going to do a spell and try and like show him.
Oh, you're going to do that afterwards if you wish to.
Okay. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen now. Let me just go back to that. Charisma save. Oh dear.
Oh no.
It wasn't a natural one. It was a 2 that went down to a 1.
Next time you have a fight, you are going to have disadvantage on your next fight.
For all my moves in that fight, or just?
You basically, for 24 hours, you have disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws
Oh no.
for the next 24 hours.
That is harsh.
That's basically because he dented my confidence. Is that what it is?
He was taunting you, so yeah, his power to taunt is quite extreme because of his royal nature.
Yeah. And I'm not feeling very high elfy anymore because of all the stuff I've been through.
Yeah. He kind of is now a bit disinterested in this line of conversation. He says, "Well, it's getting. We better retire for the night. Good night, Lady Sariel." And walks across rooms and opens the door and gestures for you to leave.
Okay. So I bow my head, say good night, and I walk out the door.
Not going to give him a pack on the cheek or anything?
Huh?
No, he's not interested in me now. Now I'm not feeding his ego anymore. He's not fucking interested.
He closes the door and you hear feet proceeding to the middle of the room. And then staying still.
So he's basically trying to do his own little
make that assumption.
wandering in another room.
Back to Killian and Jax and Chalie-boi. You are in the weave of streets. Can you make a one of you make a survival check with advantage?
Honey?
Sorry?
Yeah. All right. Killian roll.
Okay. 20. You
That's 3 times I've done that now.
even despite the weaving and intricacies of these lanes, you're able to find yourself back to the main thoroughfare.
Even with Charlie.
Even with Charlie, because Jackson was helping you to get through this and like half hold up Charles as you are led back to the main drag.
Thanks.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
A horse butt.
Yeah, plenty all along the outsides of the little inns and taverns and things.
We'll freshen Charlie up some.
Okay.
No. What I want to do is say, Jax, oh, it's this bleeding wire. Honestly, it's getting on my nerves. What I want to do is say, Jax, grab his feet. And I hold on to his arms, you get his feet and we like swing him into one. That's what I want to do.
Okay, I'm just gonna like sort of let him plant him face first, you know. Sort of
Oh yeah, either way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lengthways into the horse trough.
Yeah.
You splosh him in there. He screams, "Oh, that is cold, but refreshing." He, what's his plus? Con, I can't remember what his plus on his con is. 0. So no, he's still drunk.
Great.
You know, but all the 6 washed off at least.
Yes. Yeah, that was the main.
He's slightly cleaner now, and then
hike him back out and drag a soppy Charlie.
Yeah.
Up to the castle, I guess.
Yeah. As you're being walked that way,
As you're being walked that way.
as you are being walked that way, Charlie's being walked that way. Sorry. You reach the castle base that you came out of. It's quite early. There seems to be a changing of the guard at this point when you reach that place. Would you like to make a perception for me?
Who? All of us?
Anyone that isn't Charlie who's drunk.
Ooh, I rolled a 19, so 20.
I rolled a 3, so 4.
Jax, you notice that one of the guards has got a split lip, and his eyes meet your eyes, and it's just a little.
Okay. It wasn't Carlos.
No.
Okay. Is there any chance we can get some breakfast before we go to bed? I'm just going to wander up to one of the guards.
Already planned it.
You then Charlie says, "I was promised breakfast, and music and dancing. I need breakfast and music and dancing, and then and should I go to sleep?"
I thought you were going to ask Sarah to dance.
I was going to say,
That is the person I'm going to dance with. Yes.
you weren't promised
busy.
dancing.
I was promised breakfast then, at least.
So could you point us in the way to that nice dwarf lady to see if she's got any like bread and bacon and stuff?
You can know that there's food already prepared, but
I won't say no to more food.
okay. Where is the kitchen area as you climb up? It's quieter than it was previously when you experienced this space. But the door is ajar.
Wander in.
There is the dwarf lady on her own, clattering around. No servants this time. Just.
Is there somewhere I can park Charlie?
Yeah, there is a sack of flour to one side that you could.
You can sort of sit on that, and you'll probably just sort of curl up and go to sleep at some point.
You deposit.
So we've been out partying in your like city, and it's all good and stuff, but it's quite early in the morning, and we're wondering, have you got any like bacon rolls or anything?
She says, the Dragon Ball Master. I've already got his food up in the room.
Oh, this is for these two, but I wouldn't say no to bacon roll.
Very well. Join me.
Okay.
And she whipped around, and there's a sort of a kitchen table that's covered in like peelings and stuff like that. She scrapes that aside.
Is there like half a owlbear carcass somewhere?
Yeah, there would be.
You just sort of slice off a chunk of cold beef.
Yeah, she's as you're moving around, she's obviously been cleaning up and sort of arranging from the meal yesterday, and you can see that the bins are full of food that wasn't consumed, and just being sort of disposed of.
Why don't you like do a soup kitchen or something?
What sort of those?
Well, like, Weirdy Prince guy doesn't eat much, and like there was more than the four of us could eat. And like then you get like people that are hungry in the town that come up at the gates afterwards, and you give them a plate of dinner.
She looks at you like, that doesn't make sense at all. And she says, that's not the way. It's not the way kings and princes work.
Well, yeah, but they don't do any work. Has he ever come down here and sort of seen what you do after the feast? All the washing up and all the hard work and all the effort?
No.
Is he ever going to know?
He's a prince.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got eyes everywhere. The Falf would know.
He's weird too.
Yeah.
Matt's face then when he said that was just full of like.
You're all fucking nuts here.
Facial expression
Out of
ever.
character. I love how like weirded out Matt is by all of my those two NPCs. It's just like, what is these guys' deals? Like they're so weird.
Nope.
You're like,
Like,
you were absolutely fine at the Mad Hatter's tea party. Like, yeah, just go on and wear a hat, whatever. But now, this guy, this prince, fuck him.
Dax is very straightforward, and you know, yeah, this is just weird.
Okay,
I think there's the degree of expected weird because we were in the Feywild and he was not happy about being in the Feywild, so he wasn't really happy with any of it, and it was just kind of like, well, I'm just going to agree so we can get out of here as quickly as possible. Yeah. But these guys should be normal, and they're just weird.
You're not happy.
Sariel, where are you making your way to?
Sorry.
Where are you making your way to? You're in the far. You're in the.
I hear noise because how far down is the kitchen from where I am?
You're in the other tower.
On the other tower. Oh right. Okay.
You've got to cross that big.
You got to come across the bridge. You got to come across the bridge to get back to your room anyway.
So I head back towards what I think back towards my bedroom.
Mm-hmm. And you would probably. Sorry, go on.
That's fine.
As you do that, you'd pass the floors with the kitchen on, and you would probably hear the voices of your compatriots.
When I hear my companions' voices, and they all sound a bit leery, that I come down. I'm curious, and I come down to see what's occurring.
Okay.
only one of us sounds Larry.
Although you two didn't roll Constitution for your drink.
What drink? I didn't have one.
Jackson. So
I can roll. I have one drink with the night guy.
Let's roll. Let's see if we got pissed or not.
Roll a con save. 11.
No. You're sober. You feel the alcohol in your system, but nothing can affect you. You enter the kitchen, and round the table there is Jackson and Killian tucking into some large meat-based sandwiches with a dwarf, a female dwarf.
Is Charlie sat on the bag of flour?
Good evening, guys. And then I look at Charlie. I'm like, oh dear.
You didn't.
Charlie had a little bit too much to drink.
At that point, Charles stands up and goes. As you kind of turn around, there's this kind of whoosh of feathers that come towards you, and an arm on your hip, and a hand grabbed and pushed out, and Charles starts trying to sway you to dance. Do you let him dance you?
Yeah, I let him dance me. I know he's drunk. I can see he's drunk, and I'm like, do you know what? I'll have a bit of a laugh. So I let him dance me round the kitchen.
Charlie spins you and does the thing under your arm and goes, I've seen her dance. And goes back to his flour. Sits on the sack of flour. He doesn't join you at the table. And gradually there's this kind of
oh, I lean Charlie up so he doesn't fall off the bag of flour. I sort of lean him against the wall, and I find another, like some other bags and things to sort of prop him up. Yeah. So he's got like a bit of a pillow to the side of him. So I'm just sort of looking after the drunk Charlie in the corner.
The dwarf lady sees your ministrations and opens a drawer that's filled with linens and pulls out what looks like a tablecloth and sort of tucks Charlie into like a little bag, like on these bags of flour, and kind of tucks him in and says, "Poor little sausage."
Hang on. We can play the best joke ever. What's the biggest egg you've got?
roll an investigation check. See if you can
I'm
find the-
asking the little dwarf lady.
She says,
The biggest egg you've got.
owlbear?
If you've got one, what we do is we just like tuck it under his bum, and when he wakes up in the morning, you can say he laid an egg.
She smiles. She says, "You are wicked."
I just
She goes.
across the table. I just high five Jack.
She says, "You are wicked." Like, and you think that she's gonna not let you do it, and then she's like, "Oh," and she goes and finds this ginormous this egg, and you are able, if you passes it to you, Jax.
Yeah.
If I lift Charlie, you can tuck it under.
Okay. Yeah, let's do a. So we're gonna do a strength check for. Oh, I don't know. An assisted dex.
Dexterity. Yeah, dexterity and strength.
Assisted dex for Jax, because Jax is going to try and place this egg carefully underneath Charles's posterior.
I rolled a 15, so 16.
Yeah, you were able to secrete this underneath him. I've forgotten how much. Charles is pretty heavy though, right?
Yeah, but this is me and Jack.
Is he curled up on the sack? So
No. My concern isn't for the amount of it's the weight of Charlie upon an egg.
Yeah, no. So like if he's like,
oh, okay, yeah,
up on the thingy, it's like under his butt.
Okay,
he's not actually sitting on it.
So you've dropped his pantaloons that and that he was wearing to dinner, and slipped an egg underneath Charles Owen's posterior. So when Charlie wakes up in the morning, he's going to be quite confused, you think. You are then they're sniggering and laughing. That bursts into actual full-on laughter as you're trying not to wake Charlie, but you can't hold it in very well at all. You're all like laughing and sniggering, and the evening seems like the evening / the morning feels like it has gone rather well. Like you feel all very much recuperated despite being up most of the night. Sariel, you are beckoned to join them at the table.
Yeah, and I sit down and I say to the cook, I said, "Could I have one of those, please?" And then point to the sandwich.
Yeah, this is nothing like what you had upstairs, where everything was precisely made and seasoned and all that. This is like
owlbear.
Yeah, this is like thickly sliced owlbear in between wonkily cut bread with like lashings of butter. Like, I mean, it's like thick, it's spilt out the side, but this is proper, like, this is like 6 a.m. food. Like
6 a.m. club, yeah.
All night. This is ideal.
This is the kebab on the way home.
Yeah, this is like an owlbear kebab, basically.
Or in my case, chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings. There isn't a wing of the owlbear.
How was your date?
Yeah. It started well. We watched the eclipse together. That was pretty. And he held my hand, and then he decided to show me more of the castle.
Is that all he showed you?
Yeah. Well, I got a glimpse of his chest, and I sighed, and and then he took me into a alchemy type room and
really wanted us to say
potions, and just said he had something to show me, and I got all excited for about 5 minutes, and then he took me into another room, and there was just a big globe in the room, and it would appear that he's worked out the power to be able to see into other realms and to help others go into other realms. A bit like the Feywild we went into before, but you can't once you go in through his crystal ball, you can't really actually interact. You can just move through, as it were, like you're not quite real. And so I relay my experience of going through the forest.
So yeah, Sariel regales you with the tale of how the Prince Regent has some sort of crystal ball that allows you to see into realms. Also, do you reveal like how his reaction to you criticizing or saying?
To a certain extent, he I sort of tried to warn him off trying to move people or objects from one realm to the other, saying that it would be dangerous, and that he got quite offended. And then he turned on me, and all of his charisma and it was like his ego was damaged, and he got really nasty. And then I sort of tell them that he was nasty, but I don't sort of say to what extent. But I think they know me well enough to sort of read my body language to go, yeah, he was mean to her.
You just hear from the sack of flour, bastard.
And what does Jackson and Killian do in response to my story?
I'm just sat there eating.
You're having a sandwich.
Listening to everything. I know it's like Killian's got to the point now where he's like, actually, there's a very big bed upstairs, and I'm a bit tired. I'm listening,
really
but only
bothered,
half concentrating. Do you know what I mean?
As you look at this Dragonborn's eyes, like as the bites are going down on the sandwich, the eyelids are going at the same time.
Oh.
There's a feeling you might have a Dragonborn asleep in it. Jax, what are you up to? What? How do you react to this tale? Like, what are you feeling about this?
Well, I always thought he was a bit weird.
You did mention that once or 12 times.
I don't think I've mentioned it to Sariel.
No, Sariel hasn't heard this at all. Like Sariel hasn't heard this whole like he's a bit weird, which is basically Jax is like lying.
Conversation piece for the evening. I had dinner with the prince and he's weird. It's a combination of name dropping and sort of dissing the guy a bit.
Yeah. Jax gets it printed on a t-shirt. He's a bit weird.
Well, are you done with your lettering thing now, or what are we doing about that? Because like I was having a chat to one of the guards and who works for the king, who is supposed to still be in Mordenthal. But you said he was dead, and his son said, yeah, he probably is dead, but he's not dead and he's still the king. So are we going there? Or what?
By the sounds of it, the two things could be connected. I mean, if the prince has been spending some time playing around in between worlds, maybe the king has got stuck in Mornsal, but in a parallel universe, maybe? Jack's like, I don't know.
It's like a flat line. As you start, like numbers and calculations appear in front of Jax's eyes, and he doesn't understand any of them.
And I sort of sigh and wish I was talking to somebody who wasn't half asleep, or somebody who's got more than two brain cells to rub together. And I stop with my line of inquiry. I say we're probably best to have a rest at this point and maybe make some decisions in the morning. I think we've all.
Well, aren't you going to the library with him in the at some point to look at moon stuff or something?
I did that. I told you. I went up to his
observatory. You went into his observatory, but you were going to go to the library. I think Killian was going too.
Oh, is that meant to be today?
Well, at some point today.
I don't think he would mind if he had a couple of hours sleep first. We've all been up all night.
So he did say morning, and then it kind of got changed to sort of early evening, I think.
Yes, that's it. So yes, I think we've got time to
want to look at.
I think we've got time to have a sleep, have a chat, and then see and start having a look through his library. like tomorrow evening or today evening even.
Okay.
Do you remember what you were sort of investigating from that, Jax?
The Mori people symbol.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody remembers. Jackson's not as stupid as he looks.
You were going to go and
Max
You-
is like just completely average.
yeah. So you are encouraged after your sandwich to go and chill out and.
Just going to check with the dwarf lady that she's all right, that we leave the unconscious Charlie tucked up in the corner.
She's
with his
like,
leg.
I'll look after him, don't worry. I have dealt with my fair share of hungover people. No, never an Aarakocra before.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for the Albert sandwich. It was great.
Yes,
And
thank you. It's very nice. And
It's fine, sweetie. You sleep well, and I'll maybe see you at lunchtime, maybe something like that. We go rest up.
yeah, and
yeah.
Cool. All right. And so you all go up. Charles snores away on the sack of sand, sack of flour, and you all retire to your various rooms. And I think that's where we're going to end for the day because Ian's getting a bit tired, so we're going to stop there. Okay.
did we get a long rest?
Yeah, you'll be long rested, so you'll be all here. Yeah. Everyone can take a long rest. Okay. I'll just pause this up and I'll.